Spider-Man, Brand New Day is now lined up as Tom Holland's fourth installment in the MCU. But long before Holland, and even before Andrew Garfield, there was supposed to be another Spider-Man 4. Sam Raimi, the director of the original trilogy, had big plans for Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker. The movie was announced, given a release date, even had villains and casting in the works. And then, it was scrapped. Today we're diving into the story of the Spider-Man 4 that never happened, why it was canceled, and how it could have completely changed the future of Marvel movies as we know them. After the huge success of Spider-Man 1 and 2, and the mixed but still financially massive Spider-Man 3, Sony wanted Raimi back for one final chapter. Raimi's vision for Spider-Man 4 was ambitious, a more grounded, emotional story that would redeem the series after the backlash to Spider-Man 3. The main villain was set to be the Vulture, with John Malkovich cast in the role. Raimi also planned to introduce Felicia Hardy, played by Anne Hathaway, but with a twist. Instead of becoming Black Cat, she would have transformed into a brand new villain called the Vulturess. Other drafts included cameos from Mysterio, possibly Bruce Campbell in a comedic role, and even talks of Kraven the Hunter. Storyboards, costume designs, and even early visual effects work were already underway. Sony originally scheduled Spider-Man 4 for May 6, 2011. Raimi was working with multiple writers throughout 2009, trying to get the script right. But the more drafts came in, the less satisfied he was. Raimi later admitted, "It was simply that we had a deadline, and I couldn't get the story to work. I don't want to make a movie that is less than great." By January 11, 2010, Raimi officially pulled out, telling Sony he couldn't meet the date with the quality he wanted. Sony co-chair Amy Pascal even thanked him for being honest, saying, "Thank you for not wasting the studio's money, and I appreciate your candor." And just like that, the project collapsed. The ripple effect was massive. Instead of continuing Raimi's saga, Sony pivoted to a reboot. The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield launched on July 3, 2012. 2 years later, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 released in 2014, but underperformed financially. That disappointment pushed Sony into a deal with Marvel Studios, leading to Tom Holland's debut in 2016's Captain America: Civil War. So the cancellation of Raimi's Spider-Man 4 didn't just end a trilogy, it reset the entire Spider-Man timeline. Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst were both expected to return. In fact, just 4 days before the cancellation, Maguire was still excited about the project, saying, "Spider-Man, I love that people are having a collective, escapist experience. That's fun. Sam and myself, we have a certain banter, and I love collaborating with him." Alongside them, John Malkovich's Vulture and Anne Hathaway's Felicia Hardy would have been major new additions. Raimi also teased cameos from Bruce Campbell and other villains. It had the makings of a blockbuster cast, but it never materialized. Here's where things get wild. If Raimi's Spider-Man 4 had been released in 2011 and become a hit, we might never have seen Andrew Garfield take over the role. Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the MCU may never have happened either. Tobey Maguire could have gone on to be a long-term Spider-Man, maybe even taking on the kind of role that Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man or Hugh Jackman as Wolverine played in their franchises. Imagine Maguire as the elder statesman of Marvel, mentoring the next generation, maybe even passing the mask to Miles Morales years later. The entire Spider-Verse as we know it could look completely different today. So why was it really canceled? The short answer: quality and time. Raimi was determined not to repeat the mistakes of Spider-Man 3, and when the script just wasn't working, he pulled the plug. As he later said, "I was very unhappy with Spider-Man 3, and I wanted to make Spider-Man 4 to end on a very high note, but I couldn't get the script together in time. I didn't want to make a movie that was less than great." For over a decade, fans have campaigned for the lost film, with hashtag Make Raimi Spider-Man 4 trending again after Maguire's return in Spider-Man: No Way Home. Raimi has admitted he still thinks about it. It's hard not to, because each summer another Spider-Man film comes out. When you have an unborn one, you can't help but think, what might have been? Could we ever see it? With Marvel diving deep into the multiverse and Maguire proving he can still wear the suit, there's always a chance. It might not be Spider-Man 4 as it was in 2011, but a Raimi-Maguire reunion isn't impossible. So that's the story of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4, a film with huge potential, a cast of legends, and a vision that might have completely changed superhero cinema. It was canceled because Raimi refused to compromise, but its legacy still shapes the Spider-Man movies we have today. Would you have wanted to see this movie? And do you think Raimi and Maguire should reunite for one last swing? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and swing that notification bell so you don't miss the next one.